What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, my sister,
Denise.
She had a name, and I forgot it. My brother, Derek.
What's up, everybody?
And my friend, Dan.
Hey.
And this week, we are talking about X-Men 2. X-Men United. So that's what we're going to be talking about this week. Does it stand up in 2020? We will find out. But first, we're going to get into some news. So first bit of news I got this week, guys. It's a sad bit of news. Everyone prepare yourselves. Disney is doing another live action remake. I want y'all to guess
what?
Guess what movie they're remaking in live action.
Is it? Wait, I need a hint. Is it something we grew up with?
This would have come later in our lives.
We grew up with all of them.
Lilo and Stitch. I was right.
Denise got it like right off the bat.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
horrible.
You know what? I really do. Well, no, let me not say it out loud.
I know what you're gonna say. I know who they can use. No,
right.
never mind.
You too, though, right? You feel the same way? You might feel the same way.
All right, so
If you know what I was gonna say, you feel the same way.
we'll leave that alone. Okay, so I'm like, Disney? How are you going to ruin Lilo and Stitch? That's how I want to know. Now, every time they announce a live
They're
action,
definitely going to ruin it. They're going to ruin it.
They ruined every live thing except for the Jungle Book and
That's just a
That was
Jungle
that
Book.
was it. That was
Just
the only
Jungle
one.
Book.
Beauty and the Beast wasn't bad. Beauty and
Well,
the
you know
Beast
why
wasn't
they
bad.
didn't
Oh,
ruin Jungle Book?
Beauty
Because they
and the Beast.
didn't change Jungle Book.
did
Yeah,
they
didn't
ruin
change it.
Aladdin?
They
I
changed-
feel like
didn't
Aladdin
change
was
nothing.
okay. I don't
Aladdin was
Aladdin
okay.
was okay.
Yeah,
Aladdin
they didn't
was okay.
ruin Aladdin.
Didn't capture
No.
the magic of the animated
it's definitely
version.
not the same. Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit. That
Oh,
one
you guys will be-
acceptable.
You guys will be happy to hear my son has seen Aladdin now.
The real,
Yeah. The cartoon.
Did he like it?
he doesn't count.
He pretends to fly on carpets now, so probably. He didn't make it through the whole movie
He
because
loved
I think he got scared at different parts of it. So I didn't realize how many scary parts Aladdin had in it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's actually.
Because of the lion in the middle of the
Hey,
desert.
Cave?
Yeah, the cave.
Yeah.
You
that
got
cave was
when
freaky, yo.
Jafar
Cave
was
was freaky.
using the ring or whatever, like when Iago was running on that wheel or whatever.
Stick.
Yeah, and then Jafar looking all creepy as the old person, them trying to escape the cave, and yeah, I was like, oh, okay. He is 4, so I'll give it to him.
The world's
Oh, so-
scariest kid too.
So he's scary like his father. Okay.
Is what he's saying.
Oh,
What he's
it's in the
saying.
gene.
Anyhow, how is Disney going to ruin Lilo and Stitch?
It's in that damn.
That's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about. So,
Them just making it live action is ruining it.
I mean, no, Lilo and Stitch should be one
Yeah,
of the
I mean-
movies you can do without ruining the movie. Like, it's a sci-fi movie. You just make a sci-fi movie, right?
Yeah, didn't they just give me Aliens or something? Then don't give me live action Lilo and Stitch.
Are they going to make him not an alien? They're going to change something drastic to ruin this
He's
movie.
just gonna be a regular koala bear.
Yeah,
A regular koala bear.
yeah, something dumb.
Like that's not how it happened.
Or he's not going to be able to talk at
Everybody
all.
don't think koala bears come from outer space. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Can he can't talk in a movie, right?
He does
he
say
speak like a
some
different
stuff,
language?
doesn't he?
The end, I thought, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning, he doesn't talk.
Something about friends. I don't remember the entire movie. Sorry.
I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest. I have never seen it.
I think I've ever seen the whole thing.
Well, there's this character. No, never mind. All right, so yeah, that's what they're doing. I'm tired of Disney doing live action remakes. I need them to stop.
Apparently, Disney's not tired of doing
They're
them.
gonna keep doing them.
Yeah, they're gonna do.
Because they
all
keep
that.
making money.
Keep on doing them.
Because we're
Yep.
dumb enough to keep going.
You know, I'd be down to see like Treasure Planet or Atlantis. Like, do something like that. One of the obscure Disney movies.
Atlantis just be Aquaman.
Was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But it'd be
They
Disney's
gonna have Jason
Aquaman.
Mimosa.
Jason Mimosa.
Jason Mimosa. He's gonna be in there.
Mm.
That's gonna be their little Atlantis dude, or whoever the main character is.
I don't think that's what that movie was about, though.
The main character, his name was Milo?
I think so. Yeah, weren't they like it was explorers going to Atlantis, and obviously the bad guy was always the guy trying to exploit the people or whatever. And
Like that. You're right.
Milo.
I think it was Milo.
That
It's
doesn't
been a
sound
long
like an
time.
Atlantis name.
Because he was human.
Milo.
I think don't quote me. I think it was Milo.
I think it's Milo. I
but
think
I've
she's
only-
right. I think she's right on that.
What? We can look it up.
Yeah, but I mean, like those movies don't get a lot of love, and they were actually good movies, like Treasure Planet and Atlantis. Right.
During that Disney,
Yeah.
I don't call it like the Disney dead period, but the
Yeah.
part when no one was paying attention to
Hiatus.
Disney.
Yeah.
Disney hiatus.
Well, yeah, like nobody was watching the movies, but those were good movies. Yeah, El Dorado too,
I would agree.
which I guess is just Atlantis, but a different, a different area of the earth.
Atlantis on the land. On the land. Atlantis on land.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta get creative.
So while they're looking up the name of the main character in Atlantis, it looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy will be in Thor. There has been talks of Chris Pratt and Vin Diesel going to where they're shooting the movie, which makes sense since Thor was last with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and James Gunn said Thor
Vin
won't be
Diesel
in
have
the
to go
third
there?
one.
All he needs is his voice. How does he have to go there? All he needs is Vin Diesel's voice.
That's true. He could do it at home.
Also true. And yes, his name was Milo.
Ah, look at that memory on what's her name over there.
Denise.
Denise.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, that makes sense because James Gunn said Thor was not going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I mean they have to close that story because Thor did leave with the Guardians, so it's just going to happen in his movie, which makes sense.
I dig it.
Yeah. No big deal. But speaking of Disney, I'm gonna make you guys put some guesses out there. Let's see, how much money did Disney lose this year? Any guesses?
$4 billion.
Ooh.
I was going to go with 2.5.
Okay.
Billion? 2.5 billion?
Yes,
You gotta specify.
2.5 billion.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
I'm gonna say $1, Bob. Not fair.
Come on down.
I was like, will I get sued for saying that? Well, Derek, come on down. You're the
probably
next
would, so that's
contestant.
Not risky. Not risky.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no.
say 2.6 billion.
I already said Derek was the closest. You just
I thought that was a joke. I thought that was a joke.
they lost $2.83 billion.
Oh, yes.
2 point-
That was the closest.
Oh, he's closest. He get that prices right. He can
said
spin
it
the
after
wheel.
I-
Yeah, I was the closest.
After
He
I
said
announced
$1.
that
No, you weren't. You said 2.5. I said 2.6.
he only did that
2.6
because I
because
announced
2.8.
that Derek was the closest already.
I thought that was a joke. I seriously thought that was a joke.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did. As for my dollar joke, did anybody think that was serious?
Yes. No.
Yes, I did.
You just
Okay.
said it was
All
$1. But
Whatever.
yeah, they lost $2.83 billion this year due to COVID-19. They do have. Oh, what's
I'm
that?
gonna say, is that Disney as a whole, or is that just their movie division? Is that everything, including the parks, including ESPN, everything?
That is in everything. That is Disney. Period.
All
So-
right.
But not having sports probably played a lot in that too.
Well, their theme
That's-
parks not open. No movies pretty much came out for them. Like, yeah, that's everything. Sports was
The
hurt.
NBA lost that much too, didn't
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah.
That equals a loss for
they?
Disney.
I read that one bright spot was Disney Plus for them, which means that they did not lose as much money as they thought they were going to lose.
Yes, Disney Plus I think has 73 million subscribers or something like that. It's doing really well.
Must be nice.
So it reduced their loss. Which is interesting. Everybody
I
need
can make money off the internet. I'm about to. I'm fine.
Well, if you guys listen to 3D Rivals and like and share whatever you're listening to, we could do that. Anyhow. But speaking of studios in their losses, it looks like Warner Brothers might be having Wonder Woman 84 come out on HBO Max after a short theater release. We're not so sure if they're we're not so sure if they're keeping the December 25th release date. There's talks of them actually keeping that and then coming out on HBO Max or pushing it back to July next year.
Mm-hmm.
How much do HBO Max cost?
I don't know. We should probably do like a 3D Rivals account.
Probably like $7.99.
Like just
probably like $7.99.
not to keep forever.
No, it's like $15 or something.
Something ridiculous.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm sure. So one of us is going to get that account.
I think it's like $14.99 or $13.99.
So one person get the account and then share the password with the rest of us.
No, it's a company account. And they can't be mad at us because we're using it for business purposes.
We should each do our rounds. Do that 1 week free. And we get a whole month free.
Yes.
We'll worry about paying for something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Trying to save some
That's
pennies.
a good idea.
Trying to save some
I'm
pennies.
liking what Dan is spitting there.
Mm-hmm. I am picking up what you
What
are
I do,
placing
man.
on the ground, sir. Yes, indeed.
I was actually about to say that too. I was about to say, yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down. You've been digging. Let me see shovels.
Oh man, but yeah, so we've talked about this plenty of times because it's the only thing to talk about during the COVID-19 crisis. The shorter theater stays that might be here to stay actually if the studios are making money off of it. Just a couple of weeks in the theaters and then stream.
I can see that.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually do it. But I mean, Warner Brothers already found out.
I'm not really.
What was that?
I'm not really in a hurry to get back to the theaters anyway. So
yeah. But Warner Brothers already found out with Tenet that it's not worth it to kind of try and push a movie to theaters only because he ain't gonna make the money right now.
it is not.
No. All right, last bit of news that I picked up was A Quiet Place has a spinoff. Apparently, they're going to be working on a spinoff, which is a sequel, but not quite a sequel. They said something weird. John Krasinski is not working on it. It's going to be another director. But
so is it going to be called A Silent Domain?
Took you a while to think of that, didn't it? I heard the boss.
A silent domain. I was wondering who was gonna say it though. I was gonna come up with something, but I was like,
It's a
wait a minute.
No.
Don't we kind of got to see the second one first before they be making the third one?
I mean,
right, because the second one is supposed to take place.
It's
no,
right
it was
after
right after. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not so sure. What do you call it? A spinoff? Like, is it just focusing on different people? Because technically, is that a spinoff, or is it just the same thing with different people?
So, is it going to be like how Cloverfield ended up? A bunch of different movies, all about the same thing, basically, but from what this person was doing during that time.
I don't even know if Cloverfield was that, because 10 Cloverfield Lane was another movie that they slapped Cloverfield onto. Like, it was, if you watch that movie, that was definitely another movie.
Was that the name of his street that he was on?
Street called? Yeah, Street called Cloverfield in Cloverfield.
Yeah. Well, I mean, My city has a street named after the city.
I mean, yeah, I know. I've seen that. They also have half the word, Lind.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Lind.
Lind.
Really? Seriously? There's a street in Cleveland called Cleve.
There is a street called Cleve.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it?
What about Land?
Land?
There's probably a street called Land. I'm not so sure about Land.
It probably is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So I don't know about this. I mean, like, we'll see if it's good, but I don't see the purpose of the spinoff. But you know, whatever they want to do, I guess.
I mean, can we see the second one first before we start talking about spinoffs?
And
Yeah, really, I'd like to see the second one. I've been looking forward to it ever since I've seen the first one.
Yeah, ever since that was going to be our next topic on our podcast, and we had prepared to talk about it on the podcast the next week, and it didn't come out.
so that was
what's up with that?
Yeah,
that was the first thing to get
we
scrapped.
literally watched The Quiet Place and reviewed it, so we can talk about A Quiet Place too. Oh, I'm never gonna let that
It
down.
was good too.
All right, so
I was really looking forward to that.
yeah, I was definitely looking forward to that too. Yeah, we'll see what becomes of this, but I guess they're just capitalizing on the popularity right there. But that is all the news I picked up. Did anybody else pick up any news?
State for WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
WandaVision is supposed to come out January 15th. Yes, January 15th.
Yeah, 2021 now.
Which is disappointing. Although it looks like Disney is trying to space their things out because I think Mandalorian is going to end in December, and then I think they're going to release their movie Soul on Disney Plus, and then after that will come WandaVision. So I think they can kind of pick that date, so it's like always something on Disney Plus.
I
would have preferred it.
People like you from using a free trial for everything.
They don't offer free trials no more.
There's no Disney Plus free trials.
Yeah, they did.
Unless they brought it back. I know they canceled it for when they dropped Hamilton.
Well, that makes sense.
They did it for the same thing for Mulan too.
What was the purpose? You still had to pay for Mulan.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Mulan wasn't free.
Like, there was no reason to getting rid of the free trial. You just needed that extra $8 from somebody. They're like, we need $38 from you, not $30.
Hang on. Let me do something real quick. All right, let's cancel. There you go.
Yeah.
Instantly, let me cash at you.
So yeah, I don't know. Eventually, 3D Rivals should just have all the streaming services, so none of us have to pay for it.
Yes, I agree.
Or
like a
much.
plan.
Yeah, I feel it.
But Disney lets you password share though.
Okay.
So I don't know why we all have separate accounts. I'm just saying.
Also true. Also, we can share things through Discord.
We could also do that.
As long as we're watching at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. So, all right, cool beans. Well, that is the news that I had. And we will jump into X-Men United. But if you yourself wanted to unite a group or an audience together for your own podcast, you can with the power of Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch and promote your. Hey, I'm trying to do an ad here.
That was awesome. Keep going.
All right. Your show will be online and listed to all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of you finishing your recording. So if you're looking to start a podcast, check out our affiliate link below where you can sign up for Buzzsprout yourself. All right, guys. Let's talk about X-Men United now.
See, y'all ruined. He was doing good, and you ruined it.
He was doing good, but
it was just trash. Like, I know. I'm like, if you want to unite a group of people, like,
Listen, the segue doesn't have to be good. It's fine. As long as we said, next time we should just like have a conversation. Like, one of you want to start your own podcast, and then I tell you how to do it. Okay. And I'm gonna leave this in this podcast so everyone knows what's happening next time.
I say, all right, giving away our master plan here.
No one heard that. You guys didn't hear it. Forget about it. All right, X2, X-Men United. Okay. First, why is it called X-Men United? I know they kind of join forces with Magneto, but no.
I think I have So apparently, like, we call it X2, X-Men United, but officially in the US it was just X-Men 2. Mm-hmm. And then in other countries it was X-Men United. And then somehow here it just kind of got mashed together to X2, X-Men United to make the dumbest movie name ever.
Okay. I did notice.
Before I watched it, I did not know that United was in the title. I thought it was just X2.
Well, on Disney Plus, it's just really. X2. It doesn't have the X-Men United on it.
In the US, it's just X2. Oh. But in different countries, it has a different name.
Well, if you're watching us in a different country than the one we're in, X-Men United. So this movie, I think it still holds up. I did have a good time watching it. I feel like it has the scenes that I loved watching it when I was younger. I still loved watching those scenes. Pretty good. There were maybe 4 or 5 really good scenes in this movie, I think.
Agreed.
That kind of what helps it is like those good scenes are really good, which kind of makes up for some of the slower scenes in a movie, and there are some pretty slow scenes.
Yeah, that's true. There are some pretty slow scenes. There's some stupid plot points. It's not as dumb as the later X-Men movies, so I can let them pass.
No. No, it's not. But it was.
After this is what no need for them to go to Bobby's parents' house
to get the clothes, obviously.
Yeah, I was thinking that they weren't really on the run from anyone. Like, they escaped the mansion, but like no one was chasing them, so they could have went to a store or something and bought some clothes. Like,
yeah, they could have straight up went to Wally World. And
this little sucker little brother decided to call the cops a snitch. Like, what, y'all?
Like,
and these your blood?
Dude,
your people?
How dirty is like you call the cops? It's one thing to be like, I don't want nothing to do with my brother. It's another thing to call the cops on your brother.
Yeah.
And then they be like, they have us kidnapped in the house and won't let us leave. Like,
right, knowing that they could possibly kill your brother.
Right.
They could possibly kill your brother, dude.
Like cool that's messed up.
Yeah,
that's so dirty.
I would have froze him. I would have froze him before I left. I'm like, hey, little Dewey. Froze him up.
Like, he just left with a little stank eye. I'd have been like, Pyro, hit that up. You call the cops on me, your house gone.
And then the parents.
I'm like, hey, I'm going to freeze him. You melt him. I'm going to freeze him again. Then you melt him again. We just going to keep doing that until he gets I want to torture this dude. Like, come on. Like, how dare you? For real.
And then the parents. Have
cool.
You tried not being a mutant?
So, like, yes, I tried that. Tried it this morning, actually.
Yeah, we gave that a shot. Didn't work out. Obviously, we're still mutants.
Yeah, they still have some pretty good X-Men themes, which is usually about prejudice in the movie. I was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Hugh Jackman being Hugh Jackman Wolverine, always good. Patrick Stewart, Professor X, always good.
He's always good.
Actually, I mean, most of the people in the original X-Men playing their characters are pretty good as their characters, I would say.
Hold on. This mic is so weird. Yeah, I don't hate Cyclops. I just feel like Cyclops is the worst person on Earth, and I can't stand him.
I still think he did.
I don't like him in the comic books.
Yeah, I think he did a good job as Cyclops. It's just Cyclops is dumb.
Just everything. One, Cyclops ain't got no regular clothes. Everyone else is walking around in normal clothes, and Cyclops got on his full little body armor. Like, what you doing? You look weird.
I was thinking that when he took
dressed like a normal person.
When he took Professor X to the prison, I'm like, why you got your visor on, dude?
Yes. And then you still lost.
Still lost.
And then that fight between him and Jean Grey was like the boringest thing on the planet Earth. And then like he just snapped out of it like, oh, Jean, it's me again. Like, what? Like, how did the fight just end like this?
It wore off. The thing wore off.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. She should have just punched him in the face just because.
It should have.
Her leg was broken or something.
I will.
Weird.
Right, that leg was broken for all of 30 seconds.
I won't talk about Jean Grey until my nitpicks because I have a lot of problems with Jean Grey. But
I got a lot of problems with Jean Grey too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Fam Jimson, whatever her name is, she's fine as Jean Grey. I think she does a good job. Yeah. I don't know. The story was still interesting to me. I thought it was still an interesting story to watch.
Yeah.
How about you guys? I found that I kind of enjoyed watching the first one more than I enjoy watching this. Like I still enjoyed it, but I enjoy rewatching the first one more.
I feel you on that. I was thinking that while I was watching the movie. I was like, I used to think like X2 was better than X1, but I'm like, after now watching them, I was like, I feel like I have a more of a fondness for X1 than this one, which is odd.
I think X2 was still the better movie. It's just the first one was more enjoyable the second time around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. 100%.
You sound like you're on the fence with that comment.
I mean,
I have a little bit because I mean, the first one was good. I like the first one because of the fact that it was the first one and like kind of seeing how they're gonna do all the characters and everything. I think they did alright with that. And then you come up with X2, it's just like more characters, a lot more action to it, and the second time around, I feel like I still like X2 better than X1.
Yeah,
I like them both though. I don't hate either one.
Watching
with Nick.
Watching this in modern times, the leather outfits are extremely annoying. I'm like, why? This looks dumb.
Had to be uncomfortable. Probably a lot of chasing.
It looks really stupid, and like you did it because you're like, oh, comic book outfits are stupid and can't be done. Apparently they can.
Well, yeah.
And the X-Men movies annoy me because they still don't do them.
Would have been weird in that movie.
Oh, was a different company now. I'm like, they'll definitely do them now, but then it's Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean, if Marvel can make Captain America look like a normal person, they can definitely make the X-Men look like normal people.
Well, that second try in Avengers was not good.
Well, because they wanted to stick with but even then, like the original Captain America outfit, it was goofy, but they still pulled it off.
Yeah, they did. They pulled it off.
Big time goofy. Cool, all baggy and stuff.
I don't know if Wolverine.
Like he had on like a denim outfit or something. It's all oversized.
I don't know if Wolverine at this time in the early 2000s, if his outfit would have looked good. I don't think so.
Watching the movie, I was still thinking I don't think you can make that look good. Even now, you can't.
The yellow.
Wolverine can never wear that outfit.
It's the yellow.
It's the yellow. It's the little pointy things on his head. It's everything.
Well, you don't have to. He doesn't always wear his mask. You don't have to make him wear the mask. You can just not do the mask.
Just not the mask.
Yeah, maybe do a black outfit with how he has the black outfit with the yellow accents in it. Do that. That probably look better.
You can't make it look good. I don't think there's anything you can do to make that look good.
Yeah, the pointy boots and everything. Yeah.
Everything was, they incorporated his hair and everything.
Yeah.
The mask, boots. It was like, all right, this is a bit much, y'all. A bit much.
Yeah, I don't know.
On the
they could have done Cyclops and Jean Grey though. That would have looked fine.
They could have done Cyclops better than what they had.
A darker blue though.
Yeah, muted colors is fine.
Same thing with Hawkeye. Hawkeye still has some purple, but it's just darker and doesn't look like an archer from the carnival.
Yeah. Right. True. I don't know. The X-Men franchise upsets me because even as they got further along, and they could have done them, even after teasing comic accurate outfits in the horrible movie that was Apocalypse, they still didn't do it in the next movie, which I don't know. It's dumb. Annoying and dumb.
Because the teasers were so bad, they was like, no, we can't do this.
Well, yeah. So, I won't say one of the last good X-Men movies because they did come out with a few good ones after the fact. Not a lot, but a few. But yeah, X2 I still think stands up in 2020. I think it does.
I would say so.
I like it.
Yeah, because I feel like the best scene in the movie is the opening scene with Nightcrawler. That scene is still goes hard.
Yeah, that's a hard
scene. It is still really good.
Like, it's cold.
It is still just, I love how it's depicted, how they show him like teleporting in and out, and then you're seeing everything from the viewpoint of the Secret Service agents. Mm-hmm. So like you can hear the stuff going on outside the room, and then like they're turning and looking, so you're like looking with them, and you can hear it, but you can't see it. And then like even when he's like he opens the door and it's just like darkness and the blue smoke, and it's just just the way that scene was shot it was amazing. It was pretty good, and it still holds up really well.
Yeah, that scene was still really cool. Mm-hmm. I enjoy watching that.
Him being Nightcrawler, I mean, obviously it's easy, but it's like just the way he penetrated all the way through to the Oval Office was supposed to be like nearly impossible to get into if you're not Nightcrawler, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, to teleport all the way through there, all the way to the point where you got the president down, about to stab him. Dude just got shot off.
Probably should have used it.
Right. But that was the point, wasn't it? It's just to let the humans know that you are not safe. Even with supposed to be the most secure place in America, is you're not safe. Like, he got in and came so close to killing the president. And honestly, he would have. He'd have just stabbed him instead of taking his good old time with a knife. But,
Yeah.
Teeth and everything. He's like,
That's the thing.
Yeah, like stab him.
I don't think that's necessary.
That's the thing. I was thinking that while watching this movie. I was like, it doesn't really solve the issue. Like, they leave the movie like, oh, yeah, everything's fine and dandy now, right? We're great. But I'm like, hey, even if these mutants were being controlled by a human, there is still the issue that, hey, they can be, even if they're good people, they can be controlled by a human and do these things. Like, I feel like that question still would have been on the table,
Because if you have people like Nightcrawler or let's say Kitty Pryde, who basically can go wherever they want to go. So the question is that you say they're good, but who's to say that one day Kitty Pryde don't wake up and say, I'm going to kill the president today?
Right.
Yeah, but here's the thing. How do you handle that without infringing on people's human rights?
And isn't that the whole moral story of like Minority Report? You can't say what someone might do. True. Before they do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point right there. That's a good point. So yeah, this is why people can never have superpowers. It's all bad. So you had that. That scene was good. The raid on the X Mansion. That scene's still good.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Good. So good. We got like the best of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I hate that Colossus didn't have a Russian accent.
Oh, you mean American Colossus?
I hate they didn't use Colossus.
Oh yeah.
They could have used so many people. Just
well, this little part was dope though, because they were shooting them and like he turned the metal all the time, just looking like, what this gonna do? Then he threw him through the wall. That was pretty dope.
Like his part was cool, but then it's just there's things that's like, man, they could have did so much more with this movie. That's kind of what I get. This movie's like they could have done so much more than what they did.
True. Also, are we sure Colossus is a high school student?
Oh, you mean that grown man sleeping with them kids?
Yeah,
that dude was like 26.
Everybody else in this movie looked like they should be in high school.
Let me tell you. He was having some fun. He was like, ooh. They have no idea. Even when they find out, they can't stop it.
Oh my god. No.
Yeah, no. He was a grown man for real.
Yeah, I'm just like everybody else in this school looked like they belong in high school, and this grown man.
But he was a Greg Oden, man. He was a Greg Oden. What do you think Greg Oden looked like in high school?
All right.
Somebody's daddy.
All right, then.
Somebody's granddaddy. Dude look old. Dude just look old.
So you had.
I mean, it's possible.
You had that scene. What other? There were a few other good scenes I remember.
The fight between Wolverine and Lady Deathstrike was pretty good.
Oh yeah. Woo, that yeah.
Wolverine got his butt kicked.
He got it. Well, he should. It's
He's
Lady
always
He
Deathstrike.
got my old girl.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, he got lit up. Especially when
Yeah,
she
he
was behind
did.
him and she jumped. He was
Now
like,
that
yank,
is
yank.
my
I'm like,
nitpick.
Yeah.
What?
Did not like how they did Lady Deathstrike in the movie.
Oh, they did her dirty. They
Yeah,
did her
I was
dirty.
kind of upset. I was upset when I watched it the first time that I'm like, oh, y'all just killed her. And now watching this
how they
again,
killed her with the adamantium that she hit the bottom was like, ting.
yeah. Watching this again is even sadder because
funny.
if you pay attention, her eyes turn back to their regular color, meaning just before she died, she finally gained control of herself again.
Yes.
Which is like, oh, cool. I guess you just killed her, and now it's like, oh, now she's not under Striker's control. Cool. Great.
What to do? Just run away until it wears off?
I mean, she wasn't going
she
to
was
kill
killing him. He had to do something.
She wasn't killing him.
She was
He
killing
would have
him.
healed. It was hurting.
She had her nails through his neck
She was
and was
killing him.
constantly stabbing him.
If we've learned anything, nothing can kill Wolverine. Okay.
Didn't he die in his last movie?
Yep. That because
Okay,
he
did
was
die.
he lost his
Something
he was losing his
something can
power.
kill him, whether it be old age or what.
It was extreme old age.
Something can kill him.
Like, how old was he at that point?
Right.
Somebody, I think Film Theory did an episode on that, and they were saying that adamantium is what is the reason why he was losing his healing factor in that movie.
Yeah.
Because his body had to constantly heal itself because of the adamantium, so it started to die out. Whereas if he didn't have it, he probably would have lived longer.
Yep.
So if he was just stabbing folks with bone, then he wouldn't have been fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So you're saying is that the metal poisoned his body, and his body uses all its effort to heal itself for the metal poisoning.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it makes
guess I can
sense.
buy
I
that.
mean, that not that theory, but the fact that the adamantium is poisoning him and he has to constantly heal himself is comic accurate, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think they mentioned that before. Like, his body is constantly healing himself, which is why his mutation stopped. Remember when he got it taken away and he mutated further?
You say remember like I'm supposed to read a comic book and say, yes, Darren, I remember that.
And Magneto ripped the antimating. I
Adamantium.
can never get it right.
I'm mad.
From him, he mutated further because he no longer had it.
Okay. I'm going to do some Googling and get back to you guys on this.
All right. Well,
we throwing some facts about Wolverine you didn't know?
I only know what
I didn't know that. I love Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine's amazing.
he is.
But I don't know all things about him.
So, a question, if that be true, which we said, would that mean X-23 would live a bit longer? Because her whole skeleton is an adamantium. She just has the claws.
That word. I was thinking about that while watching this movie. How does she have the metal claws? Because that's not part of his power.
They gave it to her.
But not the same way they gave it to him?
Yeah, so remember, she's a clone, so they wanted to make her exactly like Wolverine. So they put the claws in. She had claws. They were bone.
Obviously.
And they replaced them with the metal.
But you're saying that she didn't go through the same process that he did?
Not exactly. No,
No.
they didn't lace her entire skeleton with it. It's just the claws.
Just the claws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she's
that was my
lighter.
question. Is that in the comics?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
It's an interesting comic. I haven't read it, but I did the TLDR on it. It's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was wondering that, like, how does she have metal? But okay, they gave it to her. Got it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So why don't we move on to Denise's section here? You got some interesting stuff about the movie.
Okay. For the role of Nightcrawler, I went to Alan Cummings,
Yeah.
something like that, who was also in GoldenEye. Great movie, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it.
He's the guy that died at the end after he said he was invincible.
Oh, that is him.
Yes, that's
Wow,
him.
I put two and two together.
Him and Famke Jensen.
Jensen, yep.
We're both in GoldenEye together. Apparently Neil Patrick Harris auditioned for the role. Ugh.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, absolutely
Right.
not. What?
Just no on that.
That's why he didn't get it.
Yes. And one Alan Cumming speaks fluent German, so that was a bonus.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
Good deal.
Okay.
Good deal. Solid choice.
In the scene where Professor X freezes the crowd at the museum after Pyro and Bobby act stupid in the food court, they use mines for that scene. Kind of cool and freaky.
Oh, okay.
Mine.
All right, let's talk
Yeah.
about that scene for a second.
Uh-huh.
How dumb? First of all, Pyro, you think you're acting cool. Somebody asked you for a light. Either say yes or no.
Right.
And then the people looking for the light, if he says no, move on. I'm sorry, that whole confrontation was dumb. Like, what?
But it's like that in high school for real, though.
Yeah, man. They're
Come on,
not-
teenagers.
Also, what time period was
For
this? Are we
teenagers,
smoking in the middle of a museum?
Yeah, I'm
It
gonna
was
say no.
2003.
No. I think
A
that was a
museum.
no in
Mhm.
1990 or whatever. You can't smoke in a museum.
Yeah.
You'll ruin the exhibits.
Even before the indoor rule, I doubt they let you smoke inside of the building.
You cannot smoke in a
museum.
museum. It's like that was always a
they were
rule.
jerks, so they were probably just gonna smoke anyway. They were jerks.
Right. Well, they were in a food court. Maybe smoking was allowed in a food court? I don't know. Who
Museum?
cares?
There's children. I don't know. All right.
I don't remember when the no smoking rule came along either.
I'm not sure. Was it when we
Yeah.
were 13? I was
I-
13.
I don't know. It's not like I was smoking, so I can't say for
Wasn't
sure.
smoking. Yeah, I wasn't smoking, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, not cigarettes. Yeah, I wasn't smoking.
So, all right. What else? What else you
They
got?
told me I could do that anywhere.
What else you
Okay.
got?
So that ice wall Bobby creates in the schools in order to get Logan to leave with them, they actually created a real ice wall.
Yeah, I
It
remember
weighed
that.
3,500 pounds, and they actually blew it up. Kind of cool. I like it.
Cool, but pointless. I guess it wouldn't look right in CGI.
Yeah, it probably looked dumb because their CGI wasn't
Probably
good,
not.
so
Didn't-
they had to do it.
And then he
practical.
touched it, and like you could see,
Yeah,
like,
the water.
ice,
Yeah.
like, water on his hands and everything.
Yeah. Where should I go? Okay, so we're gonna talk about things that like this movie could have had added in it. So there's a lot of things that they wanted to do but didn't do because of Fox, which is why y'all don't exist no more. So it was initially planned that when Professor X was killing all of the mutants, to show more mutants around the world dying, including Beast and Gambit. And they actually shot the scenes with Beast and Gambit. In it, Beast will actually turn into his blue form when the mutants were dying. But they cut it.
Why? That sounds like that would definitely add it to the movie.
It would have definitely added to the movie. And
Beast
so
and
there's
Gambit
just
would've
more.
been dead, though, right?
No, because remember, Professor X didn't go through with it. They stopped it.
Yeah.
But like you would have
Yeah.
seen it because
Oh,
you
okay.
only see the people at the dam being affected by it. This time you could see
Right.
more people. And I mean, Beast and Gambit. Who doesn't love
Am
Beast and
I
Gambit?
the only one that thought the scene was kind of dumb though? Like them showing everybody, and then I'm like, oh, Bobby and Rogue are holding hands. Okay.
I guess it's supposed to prove like, look how close they are. But we already knew that. Who
Right.
cares?
I was like, I don't care about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are
Apparently
heartless.
there.
You guys are heartless.
So apparently there was going to be a danger room scene, but Fox cut it from. Well, Fox cut the movie budget, so therefore Bryan Singer had to cut the danger room out of the movie, and it's the second time he had to do that because Fox keep playing with their money.
It's interesting that they cut X2's budget after X-Men 1 made money. That's weird.
Well-
Usually it doesn't do that.
They gave them more budget, and then Fox took some of that more budget away.
Yes, good
It's
business
stupid.
practice. Yes.
Why?
Dumb, right? Yeah. So Angel, Beast, Sabretooth, and Toad were all a part of the original script, but they felt like there was too many characters, and so they cut them. I'm like, boy, if y'all only knew what we had now, like that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
There would have been a lot of characters from back then, though.
Have you
Dang.
seen Endgame?
That's what I'm saying. Like it can be done. It was like, 8 people is too
That's what I'm
many.
saying. I'm like, now, but back then,
I don't understand it now and back
only
then.
knew.
Like, just get a good writer. That's all you need. You don't need technology to have multiple characters. Get a good writer.
You just need a good
They
writer.
didn't have a good writer.
They didn't know how to write that in though. That's what I'm saying. Because the one thing about Endgame and Infinity War, it's not about how much screen time everyone has. And I feel like that was the problem with older movies, is just they tried to give everyone enough screen time, and like that's not important.
No, you need to focus. Like, Civil War was Captain America's movie, and it remained Captain America's movie, even though it had a bunch of characters in it. Infinity War was about Thanos, and that was the main person that you saw throughout the movie. And then I think basically Iron Man was the main character of Endgame. So it's like,
Well, you know what, Darren? You bring up a good point, and I think this is the problem with the X-Men movies in a whole. Instead of it being about the X-Men, I think they always focus and centered on Wolverine when it's like you didn't have to. Like, I understand having Wolverine in every movie, but every movie did not have to be about Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choose a different character. Like, okay, first movie was about Wolverine. Now we talk about Cyclops in the second movie, you know, and give a different focus. So we know the characters, but, you know, that way it's still, even though you have all these characters, it still feels like a solid movie rather than just a hodgepodge.
That is where they have failed. To continue on of things that would have been in the movie but was not, apparently there was an extended fight scene between Cyclops and Lady Deathstrike, which included him picking up the cops' baton thingies and fighting with that. I would have liked to seen that fight. I mean, he'd have definitely lost.
The fight we got was horrible. Also, I feel like she would have killed him.
She would. I mean, think about how she did Wolverine dirty. Cyclops had no chance.
Yeah, she didn't use her claws at all until she faced off against Wolverine.
Yeah.
Also,
she didn't.
I need Disney to do a comic accurate Lady Deathstrike. Let's get it going.
To do a comic accurate everything X-Men related.
Except for costumes, because that can't be done.
Yes, yeah. Except for that, we don't need that. So apparently they had to tone down. Apparently Disney. I'm sorry, they weren't Disney yet. Apparently they had to tone down Wolverine's berserker rage at the school in order to keep it as a PG-13 rating. Disappointing, because I wanted more.
Interesting.
I want to bring out the scene with Magneto when he takes the metal from the guy. That's kind of graphic.
But think about it, that's as graphic as it get. So you had that. You couldn't have graphic anywhere else.
That was definitely mad graphic. Cause like it's she put the metal in his blood. Pulled the metal out through his everything basically.
Yeah.
And like you can see the blood. Like I mean,
I've got a question about. I had a lot of questions about this actually. One, since Magneto has a extremely powerful magnetism as his mutant power, can't he do that anyway with a person?
Oh, because
they have to have enough in their blood.
You have enough iron in your blood for him to pull it out like that. Like, she actually put liquid metal in that guy. So I think those are two different things.
Okay. Also, that was a lot that she pumped into his bloodstream. He would have
died anyway.
He would have died immediately.
that nitpicks. Like, I don't know if that guy walks away out of that. Now, let's say if he does walk away, he's feeling pretty awful, right? Like, he does not go back to work after this.
Like, you can't add that much volume. Like, you saw how big. You saw how big that syringe was. Like, you can't add that. I see adding more iron to someone's bloodstream. All right. But, like, you saw how much that was. Like, dude, that was a thermos.
That guy, he doesn't, like, your body right away be like, nah, I don't know what this is, but no.
It's dead.
He just shook it off and went like, all right, got more work to do.
There's part of his body that's not getting blood because it's just iron.
That's true. Yeah, it was way too much.
Admittedly,
Way
that
too
was
much.
very inaccurate, but they are mutants.
Yeah, I don't know. Watching it this time, I was like, "What?" But okay.
No, I had questions. I'm like, I'm not sure that guy would be so dead. But yeah,
Okay.
I figured because I'm like, just putting it in him. Like you're not even paying attention to where you putting it. You just
hey, she just like stuck it in his butt. Can we talk like why he had on them nasty looking drawers? Like,
I was going to talk about
he didn't look like the cleanest cat out there, so he probably had them drawers on for the past.
I was going to talk about his Velcro pants, but I realized he works where he couldn't have metal. But also, they make plastic
he had
zippers.
To wear Velcro pants.
No, they make plastic zippers.
Yeah.
You don't.
They do make plastic zippers.
Velcro's probably cheaper. Though.
Okay. I guess so.
It's got to be.
Well,
zippers are cheap as it is.
It's true. A drawstring.
It's better than a drawstring.
Or get some jeggings.
Oh no, never. Okay.
They could have just made them like regular pullover pants. You didn't even need to fly and stuff. Just make them like pants that you pull up.
Oh, with the like little kids, the elastic
waist.
Yeah, you got to do it because it's a special situation. So, seemed like it'd be simpler. It ain't that much more work to open your fly or pull your pants down a little bit to use the bathroom. Ain't that much more work.
I do get mad about that though. I do be getting mad
when you ain't got to fly.
Like man, I gotta put them all the way.
Right? Because never mind. I'm not going to say what
they make boxers. They make boxers without the fly in them.
Oh, that's dumb, dude.
Real.
That's dumb.
That's stupid.
That's annoying. I would not buy that.
It is.
I'll mention something.
I would have never ordered them off Amazon had I paid attention to the fact that they didn't have a fly.
I'll mention something about boxers off the podcast.
Oh my gosh!
I should have sent them back, but you know what?
All right, Denise, what was your next thing?
Okay, so Famke Janssen, whatever. I'm
her
not
name
sure.
Throughout this entire podcast.
Yes, I apologize for that.
FJ.
So she did not know Jean Grey was going to die in this movie. Spoiler: Jean Grey dies, but not really.
I'm gonna save it for nitpicks.
So yeah, she didn't find out until like halfway through production that her character was dying. They did that in order to keep it secret, So yeah, she didn't know that was happening.
Sucks.
Too bad. Sucks for her. Did she have a contract? Whatever. Who cares? It was stupid.
Did she have a contract?
Okay. Didn't they have contracts? No.
I don't know if they did.
Was it just movie by movie?
Yeah, because Nightcrawler didn't come back because old dude said he wasn't doing the makeup again.
Yeah, he didn't do it. And the production team was like, "Oh, it's a lot of work, and maybe it's not worth it if he's not gonna have a big part." I'm like, just give him a bigger part because he deserves a bigger part.
Yeah, Nightcrawler is awesome.
It's Nightcrawler, man.
I need you know what? Marvel, give me a Nightcrawler movie. I would love that.
Yes.
What would it be about?
You can start from his origin.
Nightcrawler and how Mystique is his mother.
Yeah. It could be like a horror film. I'm down for it.
What would it be about? You can make a Nightcrawler movie out of anything. It could be anything. It's the guy that teleports.
The script was based off of the 1982 comic God Loves, Man Kills, which a lot of it did stay. The movie did keep a lot of it with Stryker. Stryker is as a reverend in the comic books, FYI, building a fake Cerebral and kidnapping Professor X in order for him to kill all the mutants. So it's basically the same thing. However, while the Stryker's son, Jason, in this movie, powers is based off of Jason Weingard. Is that how you pronounce that?
Mastermind.
Yes.
Wolverine podcast.
Yes. So they gave him that powers. Although Stryker does have a son named Jason in the comics, those are not his powers. In the comics, his power sucks. It's like a light bulb or something stupid.
So he has ideas.
No, it's like he can like curate light with his body or something. I mean, I was like Wikipedia and I'm like, this is a dumb power. It's probably why they gave him Vanguard's
like
power instead.
That weird dude from the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie.
Guy.
Huh?
No, you talking about the guy who was at the carnival?
Yeah.
No, I think his power is slightly better than that.
Okay.
All right, we ready for nitpicks?
Let's talk nitpicks.
Yeah, it is.
Sure.
Thanks, Darren. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Jean Grey.
Wait a minute. I wanted to save her for last. I'm sorry. We'll save her for last.
Fine. All right, go ahead.
Because she's last on my list. Okay. How does Stryker's brain controlling serum work? You just put this liquid on someone's neck and you can control their mind? How'd that work?
I looked it up. He was using spinal fluid from his son and made the liquid to control people.
All right, so I get why he didn't use an injection for no, actually I don't get why he didn't use injection for Magneto, because plastic needle you could use. But anyhow, why was he just dropping a liquid from 2 feet away from their neck onto it? And how does that work? I'm still confused. I agree with Denise.
Like, how? And then, how do you get Nightcrawler? The dude's horse. How did you hold him down long enough in order to drop this liquid on this dude's neck?
If he's somewhere that he hasn't been before, he doesn't know where to teleport.
No. He can teleport away from you putting liquid on his neck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you teleport away from that.
What if they just saw him somewhere and just tranquilized him or something? That knocked him
And then
out
did it while he was asleep?
Maybe he did say he was at the church, and that's the last thing he remembered. So
okay, all right. Maybe that's how they did it. I'm still not convinced this serum works.
Yeah. I have a problem with Bobby Drake's family and how they walked in the house and they were surprised to find Wolverine there. They're like, they came in the house, they were talking, and they're like, "Oh my God, this guy's in our house, right?" But a few scenes later, the Mazda was parked in their driveway and they were parked behind it. So you knew someone was in your house.
There, see, you're wrong. When they came into the house, they said Ronnie. I think that's what the dad was saying while he was talking, like, don't let your friends park in our yard. So, no.
Yeah.
They knew someone was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you
that that's how that started.
I'm going to give you that one. All right, fine.
All right. Next one. So, after everything that happened after the first movie, the Cerebral and the Mansion still not have a security system.
The security system's the worst.
I mean, seriously. Like, why is this thing not locked up better?
And how come everybody can fake Professor X's eyeball?
Like, dude, you need a 2-factor authentication.
Like, man,
I don't understand. Really normal black eyes.
My nitpick. I have a nitpick with Mystique's powers.
Okay.
So, how is it that she can look at, like, she transforms into people and then she uses hand scanners, eye scanners, and all this without actually getting their DNA? How does looking at someone give you their handprint?
That's the difference. It's part of her power. Think about it. She can imitate their voice. She can imitate basically everything.
I get
it's just her power.
I get.
I don't know how it works, but that's her power. So it's like if she looks at you, then she gets everything about you, including your fingerprints.
So by looking at you, she gets your DNA sequence.
Dude, it's a comic book. You're thinking way too hard about that.
That deep.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's not. It's just not that deep. You're thinking too hard about that.
I saw her use the hand scanner, and that just
he's
made me
also copying people's voices as well,
without even hearing them.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
It's a comic book. You can't. You can't say like, "Oh, that power doesn't make sense." None of it makes sense.
Are we ever going to talk about how Mystique is Nightcrawler's mother, or just ignore that forever?
It's just in the movies. They're just going to pretend like that's not a thing.
They really don't talk about it in the comics either.
Oh, but if you hear the comic about how that happened, because I watched this thing about like Mystique's family line or whatever, she dirty. Yeah. She's straight up dirty. Just abandoned.
It's a horrible person.
Like, Yeah.
Yeah.
Had the kid, then abandoned him.
Yeah.
With Azazel.
Apparently, she also has a kid with Sabretooth.
Yeah, she has a lot of children, actually.
She's getting around.
Mystique is
Yeah.
old, and apparently one of the things she likes to do is pretend to be someone else and be in relationships with people. Like, she was in I think with Nightcrawler, she was in a relationship with this nobleman, and which is why he has like the last name Wagner, I think. And she was just pretending to be this other lady. Like, they got married and everything. And I think Azazel was also pretending to be someone, and that's how I don't remember the story completely, but when Nightcrawler came out blue, she abandoned him.
Fool, you blue.
She blue. Aiden is red. Like, dude. Like, what you think this kid was gonna look like?
Oh, snap, he blue. You gonna think I You blue.
Well, the person she was with didn't know she was blue.
Right, because she was pretending to be somebody else.
But I mean, come on. What did she think that baby was gonna look like? Just come on.
Really? Don't come on regular?
Hey man, if you live that long, you keep having kids, eventually your kids are gonna meet each other. See, you don't want to be this person. You don't want to be that person.
Eventually.
And then they get a blood test and you're like, oh, you're related. And you're like, what? Like, yeah, we don't need this happen.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Speaking of Mystique. Okay, so is no one gonna miss Senator Kelly? Like, Mystique just gonna stop pretending that she's Senator Kelly and he just disappears off the face of the earth and no one cares?
Well, they'll look for him, but they won't find anything.
Yeah, I just think he's missing or something.
Yeah, that's probably what will happen. He's missing.
Oh, okay. I just like, they just yada yada that. All right. Wolverine at the school, right? Mm-hmm. He wakes up in the middle of the night and gets fully dressed. Who does that? Everyone else is still in their PJs. This dude has on a shirt, a belt, jeans, and boots. Like, who does that?
PJs,
he fell asleep with that on, though.
Did he?
Dude, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I want Wolverine in some banana pants.
Bananas and pajamas.
Bananas and pajamas. Yeah, with the little hat on.
That would have been hilarious if they had that as his PJs, man. I'm like, really? For real.
Hey, man, I got that game, Don't Wake Daddy. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Don't wake Daddy.
Yeah, he's got that little hat on his head.
Yeah, with a little dangly thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, what about them PJs with a little poop suit in the back? Little back flap.
Yeah, do that with the feet. Looking like thing 1 and thing 2.
With the back flap.
So you're gonna have on a onesie?
That would have been funny if they gave him that though. Yeah. With the back flap.
All right, I didn't even notice that he was fully dressed.
Fully dressed. And then where'd he get that t-shirt from when they went to Bobby's house? Bobby's father is not that big.
Also, if he was fully dressed, so his wallet wasn't in his pants, and they couldn't just go to Wally World and get some clothes, why'd they go to Bobby's house?
There was no need for them to go. No need for them to go to Bobby's house.
Just go buy some clothes.
Maybe they just thought it was a little bit more low key.
Were they fugitives? Were they fugitives?
We got food and stuff.
Wolverine fully dressed. All the undressed kids could have stayed in the car while Wolverine ran into Wally World and got them clothes.
Man, people wear pajamas nowadays anyway.
That is also true. It's Walmart. Really? They can't tell them that. It is Walmart. They could literally have walked in there in their drawers and no one would have cared.
Nope. Definitely wouldn't have cared.
Somebody would have looked.
But they'd have looked, and then they got posted on Instagram. Only on Walmart.
And who looked the most like they were in their pajamas? Anna Paquin? Was that it? Is she the only one?
No, Bobby. Bobby had on like extra long boxers.
Bobby had on pajama pants. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, man.
Yeah, it's just weird. All right.
Listening to instinct.
So now we're talking about when they're in the car. There's no way Wolverine starts that car with his claws, right? He just destroyed the ignition, right?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that works.
That doesn't work.
But that's that movie trope of starting the car with a knife.
It doesn't work.
Especially not that model and year. No.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
No.
Probably not. But they did the
you
same
could
thing.
probably.
Godzilla, who started the car with a knife.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably hotwire a Mazda though. I mean, that's not hard, but
it's true. But it's not as like funny as him starting it with his middle claw. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The middle
all right.
of all of them.
So when the plane was crashing after they got shot down by the missile, that was real convenient.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Why was Magneto in what's the name just in the middle of the forest?
They was just chilling, man.
They're like, hey, they're gonna crash here. Also, Nightcrawler saved Rogue, but teleported back onto the plane. Why did he not teleport her to the ground?
Right, so they can all crash and die together. Smart.
He could have done that. He could have actually teleported to the ground, went back up, and got multiple people before the plane crashed.
2 of the people in the plane can fly.
No, I think that was the inside joke, which is why Magneto said, when will these people learn to fly? Because apparently Storm and Jean Grey can't fly. I'm going to get on Jean Grey a little bit later. Definitely. But yeah, apparently they can't fly in these movies.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, that's in my nitpicks. Like,
didn't Storm fly before? I thought she flew in the first one.
She flew up an elevator shaft.
Yeah, she like hovered, but yeah, no,
hovering will do fine getting you down to the ground from a plane.
I'm just saying, like, just let the plane crash and everyone else can make it.
No, Storm controls the wind. Even if she jumped out of the plane, she can slow her fall by a gust of wind at the ground.
My thing was, why did she use the wind to level out the plane?
Yeah.
Just level out the plane with the wind.
And let it glide down, because the wings were intact.
This movie would be so much shorter if Storm and Jean would use their powers.
Also, another thing about the SR-77 Blackbird I have an issue with. At the beginning of the movie, they showed a picture of the plane coming out of the basketball court. And the president and the and Stryker said, well, not Stryker, but the senator, whatever, one of them was like, oh, what kind of plane is this? And we don't know. Excuse me, the SR-77 Blackbird is a real military plane. Would they not recognize it?
They must have been saying that to heighten up
No, I
think whatever
clearance
they wanted to get.
I think the thing is that the plane's supposed to be a plane that the X-Men built, so it's not a military plane. Like, yes, this is a military plane, but it's not like Professor X bought a military plane. This is a plane that they built themselves. Is how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that plane doesn't exist.
Like, can I buy y'all a military plane? Like, for what, fool?
Yeah, no. So it's not something that they just bought. It's like they built themselves a military plane.
Okay.
Which it doesn't have weapons.
Should. I don't know if that one did. I don't remember. It's an interesting plane.
I don't think it ever did. I don't think none of their planes have weapons.
I gotta look up. Well, I'm talking about the Blackbird itself. I gotta look up information on it. Isn't it just like it was the fastest plane or something like that?
Was a plane that big if it can't fire on somebody?
I don't know. Look, we gotta
hold all the X-Men on it.
All right. Okay. In the end, when Cyclops did nothing in this movie. When Nightcrawler saves Professor X and Storm out of the falling fake Cerebro, he had enough time to save Jason too, right?
Yes.
He just let him die?
Yes.
Dirty.
Yeah, I would have too.
That makes you not a hero. You're supposed to save everybody.
Not really. Remember in the Batman movie, he didn't save Ra's al Ghul. He was like,
yeah, that's murder.
I ain't got to save you.
That's still murder.
He was like, so are you going to kill me?
If I see someone, if I see someone fall in a lake and I stand there and let them drown and don't get help or anything, I just stand there and watch them drown. I feel like that's murder by association.
What if you can't swim?
I call for help.
It's not. There is literally no law. There's no law against that. You don't have to help them. You can literally sit there and watch them die.
It's not your fault.
So Batman was right then.
Yeah, he doesn't. You don't have to help
that murder does count for Batman because he caused the train to go off the rails, didn't he? So it's still murder. You can't like sit in the car and make the car crash and say, I don't have to save you. No. You caused the cause of their death was caused by you. So it's still murder, Batman. You're wrong.
Okay. All right. So at the end, when Wolverine, they lead it down, he's like looking for the helicopter. He's like, the helicopter right there. Why are you looking for a helicopter when you showed up there in a jet?
Because they left from a different area.
Walk to the jet.
That's true. They did.
You gonna take the helicopter to the jet? That's stupid.
They did stop. Like they're just all gonna die.
like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And then Jean and Storm can fly. Nightcrawler can teleport, and he knows where he's going because he knows where the jet is. It's been really easy to get back to the jet.
True.
But if the jet is not at that location and he teleports, do he fall to the ground?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna fall in the snow because the jet's not there. It's not like he died.
Yeah, he just falls in the snow.
It's still dumb.
His life.
And then how did Rogue know where they were? It's all dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
That's just
they had a psychedelic connection.
Is that what that was? And then again, Jean and Storm can fly, and I don't understand why we have flying people who don't fly. All right, Darren.
That is odd.
Right?
Oh, I can start in on Jean?
Wait, let me do my part first, because yours is going to be long. Okay. I'm going to start with Storm. Storm could have saved them. Like, she could have used wind to split the water like the Red Sea, right?
I never thought of that, but you are right.
And then Jean didn't have to get out of the...
Can she create a wind strong enough to do that? Because that water is...
If Moses can do it.
Tornadoes.
Moses split
tornadoes.
Standing water. I'm pretty sure it was standing and not rushing at them with full force.
Look, I don't care. Her and Jean could have worked together to save them. First of all, Jean didn't have to get off the plane. I don't understand. Why did she have to get out of the plane to start up the plane to stop? She could have been in the plane to do that. And I'm like, wait a minute. You can start up the plane. Then what you get out of the plane for? When Storm said it's not working, you could have used your powers to get it to work again.
So that's not the problem. I used to think that too. But I listened this time. The problem was the vertical takeoff wasn't working. So the rest of the plane, what she did, she started it up so it can fly out. But they couldn't get the vertical takeoff going. So she still could have done it inside of the plane. Yeah.
Yes.
But
yeah. All right. Go ahead, Aaron.
So, okay. I'm going to give it to them and say, hey, maybe she couldn't have done it inside the plane. All right. Fine. Whatever. Maybe it's hard to gather the ends of the plane from the inside of it or whatever. Okay. I get you. You go outside. But I'm going to point this out. She is powerful enough to lift the plane, stop raging water, control Professor X, stop Nightcrawler from teleporting, stop Storm from doing anything else in the ship, close the plane's doors, but she can't pick herself up off the ground.
I mean, she didn't have first of all, she could have did all of that. First of all, she could have did it in the plane, and then if she got out of the plane, how come she couldn't do that in midair? It doesn't make any sense. And then then Storm and Bobby was also on the plane. Between her, Storm, and Bobby, they could have stopped this water.
Yeah,
there's enough people on that plane to stop the water.
Yeah,
the snow. Whatever you want to do.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. It just is so unnecessary. And I hate. This is how they keep trying to introduce the Phoenix into these movies. That is not how it was done. And I cannot stand how a cartoon made 10 years prior to this did it better than you did.
How did you remake, because the next movie, X3, is the Dark Phoenix. How did they remake that? And it was worse. Somehow, the Dark Phoenix was worse than X3. Somehow.
Somehow.
You did that. I don't know.
Everyone's like, hey, The Last Stand was stupid. And then you decided to basically remake The Last Stand.
Yeah.
Like, that makes no sense. Did no one think, hey, you guys, what if we just stuck to the original storyline and made that movie? That'd have been so much better. But it is literally the same movie, but worse.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad.
This one wasn't good.
Yeah.
Did anybody else laugh with Cyclops crying?
Oh my gosh. Just watching that, I was just like, Cyclops, I hate you, and just die.
I do have to say though, Wolverine saying she chose you, that's not a comforting thing to say. No, she did choose Scott. She chose you. Excuse me? Yeah, she chose me.
Again, Scott,
she was
tested
dating.
both of us out. She tested us both out, and she like you better, bro.
Like, doesn't it make you think, like, I didn't realize there was a competition here? Like, was she not thinking about going with me? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
She chose you.
I'm sorry, Wolverine. That's not comforting words. Right there.
Wait, who's like? How is it that when they were in the tent, Wolverine didn't know that was Mystique?
I thought
your
that too.
Your super senses all work so well until a girl come into your tent.
Now that's my nitpick for the movie. That's my nitpick for the movie. She sees him and Jean Grey have their interchange and kiss or whatever, and she just looks and like, that's how I can get with him. Like, that was so random.
No,
that's
Mystique.
That's Mystique.
Remember how I was telling you how she do in the comics? Yeah, that's Mystique. She was just like, hey, I'm gonna get some more. And yeah, you know what? Yeah. I thought about that too, D, when I was like, wait, he didn't smell that it wasn't her. But then again,
the power of boners are real. Yes.
Yeah, he ignored all the rest of his senses.
Yes, they are. That's what I'm saying. That's why he didn't. All the senses went to one spot. That's all he cared about.
He was like, oh, okay.
But then she kept changing to everybody else. I'm like, go back to Storm real quick.
Okay, understand. Rather don't pursue Storm and Wolverine, since that's a comic book background. That'd have been so much better than him whining and crying about Jean Grey all day long.
I mean, but he does in the comics too.
No, he does. That's a cartoon thing. I don't think that was ever in the comics. They created that in the cartoon. And they carried it over in the movies.
Oh, for a reason for us to hate Cyclops even more.
Like, why though?
I will Google it. I'm going to look into that.
I believe that was a cartoon thing.
Yeah, she might be right.
Yeah.
I just don't get why.
I don't get it either. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but why though?
Your other options were better. All of your other options were better.
Storm. Anyone else? It's not like Wolverine be lonely though. I mean, he got like 800 kids.
Yeah. Old Japanese girl.
Getting down with somebody.
Yeah.
He was getting down with somebody.
All his kids are crazy though, so.
Yeah, they are.
He's crazy, so,
Yeah, because his son tried to kill him in the comics.
Yeah, well, stop trying to kill Wolverine. You can't. Wasn't his son a human? Doesn't he have a human son?
He has a human son, and he has a son that has the same powers he does.
Yeah. I like how some mutants get different powers, and then others it's like, oh, we have the same powers as our parents. Like, why does Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman have the most powerful mutant children ever? Like, what? Why?
How did I have a mutant son?
Well, Mr. Fantastic got a mutant gene.
Does he?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that.
But they were saying that that's why they possibly gotten their powers.
Still,
because there are secret mutants, and that's why they got their powers.
It could be like they carried the gene, but like they weren't mutants themselves, so their offspring would have been mutants.
Right.
Like Pyro said in the movie, the father carries the gene.
Yep, so it's his fault.
Yeah. So maybe, I mean, that's how genes work. That is how genes work. So,
but Jean Grey and Cyclops also have powerful mutant children too.
Yeah. Still, I hate them.
Cyclops had a kid with Jean Grey's clone. Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Did I read that right?
Madeline Pryor, I think. Isn't that Cable?
No, it's Rachel Summers.
Rachel Summers is Madeline Pryor's daughter?
Yeah. Yep.
Which actually, is it indifferent? If she's the clone of Jean Grey, it's the same.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
And Cable is the actual son of Jean Grey and Cyclops.
Gosh, can we just kill off Cyclops?
But Mr. Sinister stole their baby and brought him to the future.
Makes no sense. I'm not getting into this. That stuff's confusing. I'm not. Absolutely not. X-Men has way too many timelines. Let's not touch it.
An alternate timeline?
Yeah, nah.
You know what's crazy is that the movie screwed it up. It's like even the movies is like, oh yeah, we went back and fixed this and then we broke it again.
Yeah, they screwed it up immediately. Like Days of Future Past was supposed to fix and then they screwed it up immediately. All right, any other
like, we fixed it. Now let's just throw everything together.
No, that was it. My last nitpick was just me complaining about the Phoenix.
Yeah, my nitpick was the whole thing with Mystique. That was weird.
Yeah.
And then also Lady Deathstrike sucked in the movie.
Yes, that too.
Well, her dying sucked?
Just her whole everything. They could have done better.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like how X-Men's villains don't like mutants, but they use mutants to fight the X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to Stan Lee about that.
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote the story.
Well, I mean, fight fire with fire, right?
Yeah, they probably feel like that's our only chance we got to beat them. We got to use some mutants.
Also,
and then once they beat them, they kill off the mutants that they use.
I always found it weird in the Marvel Universe that everyone has this giant hatred for mutants, but Captain America's okay. Like,
yeah, because he was used for their benefit, so they was cool with that.
Well, dude, like Darren,
that's why they wanted to Hulk.
I was literally just about to say that, like, everyone hates the X-Men, but you know what I think the difference is that mutants were born that way. So it's just people who has powers. It's different than the Fantastic Four whose power was given to them, or Spider-Man whose power was given to him. They're talking about people who's supposed to be everyday people who all of a sudden gain powers that makes you stronger than a normal person. Maybe that's what the difference is.
Okay.
And it's like with the Fantastic Four, they say like everybody likes the Fantastic Four because they knew who they were before they even had their powers. And then it's like when they had their powers, it's like they didn't hide them. You know, they didn't have no secret agenda. So it's like everyone took a liking to them because they know who they are. Whereas with mutants, you don't know who has a mutant power or who doesn't. And then it's like by the time you find out about it, it's late and it's like, oh, why did you hide it from me? And, you know, so.
All right.
Yeah, shame.
All right. Well, I think it's time for our 3D Rivals rating of X2. We'll go around. We'll start. yeah. That's our rating music. We'll start with Dan. What do you rate it?
I'd say I pay for that. I can't give it best movie ever though. Yeah. But I'd say I pay for that.
All right, Denise.
Do I voting close?
Interesting. Derek?
I'll pay for that.
All right. I was going to say I'd pay for that too. So the overall consensus of 3D Rivals is we pay for this movie. We wouldn't download it illegally. So that means it's a pretty good movie.
We watch it on Disney Plus.
Yep. Which technically we pay for that. So
and we pay for Disney Plus. So
yeah,
I do own this movie on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
I have it on Blu-ray as well.
I owned it on regular DVD. I owned it. I don't anymore, but I did.
I don't have a copy. Wait, do I? I think I do have a DVD of this movie.
I actually still have it in the plastic.
Wow.
Why?
It's not going to be worth money later.
Never opened it.
I know. I never opened it. I never opened it.
All right.
Hey, I can sell it as
a movie. I watch it on that same day.
Right? Yeah. If I buy a movie, I'm definitely about to watch it.
Yeah.
The same day.
For the people that don't know, I Pay for That is our second highest rating, so that means we do like the movie. It's a pretty good movie, even though Jean Grey is dumb and could have flew out of there. She's dumb. All right, so next week, of course, we're continuing our MCU rewind. We'll be going over Wait, what are we going over? We did Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thor Ragnarok. So we'll be checking that out.
Yeah.
We'll be checking that out next week. We are getting really close to Infinity War, and I'm excited. Excited to watch it.
As am I.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
What you mean you guys broke up? Like a band or something?
Like the Beatles. So we'll check that out. If you guys want to reach out to us in the meantime, you can. We're at 3drivals@gmail.com for email. You can reach us on Facebook, facebook.com/3drivals. Twitter is at 3_rivals. And we are on Twitch as well, which we still haven't used. But don't worry, we will eventually. Follow the Twitch page anyway. It's twitch.tv/3drivals. Other than that, thanks so much for listening, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.
Later.